Greetings everyone, my name is Gina G, and I do a lot of things when I'm supposed to be writing. For example, today I'm going to do an acrylic pour. But I've done an acrylic pour before. I used regular acrylic paints. But today I'm going to use a combination of metallics and color shifts, like this one right here. It's got an interesting sort of shift in color, hence why it's called a color shift. Well, let's get this obligatory plug out of the way. Since I'd mentioned that I am a writer, you can go ahead and go to Amazon.com and buy my latest young adult fantasy book, A Warrior's Path: Rise of a Legend. It's pretty good. Of course, I have to say that I wrote it. Anyway, on this channel, I'm going to be doing a bunch of the artistic things that I like to do when I'm not writing, because sometimes I just go off on a tangent and then just make all kinds of other things that have nothing to do with writing while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to write. So I've already poured some of my acrylic metallics and some of these color shifts. Now I read somewhere that if you put a little bit of glue, just ordinary glue in there, it prevents the colors from going together too quickly, so you don't have to worry about getting your colors all mixed together. So I got a little bit of glue and a little bit of paint. I don't know the ratio of that. It's just some to some. More paint than glue. We'll go with that. And now I'm going to mix these. These have already got some glue in it. So I'm going to put a little bit of everything. And we're going to do a pour. See if we could try and get two different levels with this. Anyway, while I do this, well, you can't really see what I'm mixing, but do some of that. A little bit of that. Well, you get the idea. We're going to mix all these colors together. Well, not mix them together, but we're going to put them in here and we're going to pour them down. Well, I've done a pour before, so I think I'm just going to do this one as a dump, where you just dump it and lift, and then you see what happens. So while I'm doing this, I'd like to read to you a short that I wrote a while back, because primarily I am a writer. Let's see, where is that? Okay, this little short that I wrote is called Too Perfect. She straightened a picture on the wall as she looked around to ensure nothing was forgotten. Everything looked as pristine as she had hoped, but no one can ever be too sure. She studied the ceiling and the walls before discovering a spot. She gasped. How could she be so careless? She quickly sprayed her cleaner on the spot and wiped it away. She made her way to the bed and tugged on the corner of the comforter so that it was just touching the floor, as if someone leaped out of bed in a hurry. Perhaps they were late for work. She took a deep breath, pleased with the job well done. They'd never suspect that she had killed him in this room if they ever found the body at all. Everything was just too perfect. Okay, so there you got an idea of what I write. I'm a weirdo. It's fine. We've all got our quirks and whatnots. I put all these weird colors together. And now, I'm going to just dump this out and we're going to see what happens. Okay. Bloop. I'm going to wait a minute. I've done a pour down before, but I didn't want to pour this time because I wanted to see what happens when you do it this way. Oh, that's a mess, isn't it? Ta-da! So, it doesn't look like any of that red got in there. or pink, whatever color. We'll just move it around a bit. Well, how about I read you another story? Another very short little story. While you watch this move across this board. She rummaged through the fridge in search of food. Her guests would be hungry soon, and she needed to find something for him. It had been some time since she last went to the store, and pickings were slim, but she managed to find a few things that would make a nice chicken dinner. She prepared the food with great care and plated them as fancy as she could manage, wanting to imitate what she had seen in a cooking show. She put the plates on a serving tray and made her way to her guest. "Sorry it took so long," she called out as she descended the steps. "I thought I might have to order out, but I found some stuff." She reached the bottom and looked over at her guest sitting quietly in a wooden chair set at a dining room table. He seemed so peaceful, a far cry from the rage he had shown her before. "I'm so glad you've calmed down," she said. She put the tray down and placed one plate for him and one for herself, directly across from him. She sat down and started eating. "Hey, this isn't too bad. How's yours?" He didn't answer. He simply sat there, glaring at her. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said. "I guess it's hard for you to eat with your hands tied. But don't worry, once you learn to accept that this is your life now, I'll untie you. Your family will forget all about you once they think you're dead. You're mine now, my very own little secret." I promise not everything I write is that creepy. Oh, that might disappoint somebody. It disappoints me. Anyway, well, this is turning out to be an interesting little blob. Let's try something else here. Put a little bit more of this in there. I'm gonna do like that. Maybe that'll help. Spread it around. Ooh. That. Well, that didn't turn out how I wanted it to. I guess because these paints are thicker than the paints that I've used before. But that's okay. You know, life's a journey. And it's a journey about learning. And if you're not learning, then what are you doing? Just taking up space? I'm going to go ahead and work on this a little bit more. Maybe I'll get it to where I want it to look. And that's it. That's basically all I'm going to be doing on this channel, is trying out artistic things that I've seen and reading stories. So if you're up for that, go ahead and subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see what I come up with later. I'll probably look at some other art channels to find some more art to... Man, this is really thick. To find some more art to try and make. Maybe we'll have success. Maybe we won't have success. We'll find that out together. But most importantly, I'm going to be reading you stories. Stories that I wrote. Some of them good. Some of them probably bad. All of them interesting. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. One of these days I'll learn how to talk, right? Haha. Alright, bye.